What's going on, world? It's your man Chuck Creekmur, a.k.a. Jigsaw.
Yes, yes.
My man DJ Thorough.
Yes, a.k.a. Throwzano, Bridge to the Streets.
Yes, sir. We are here because the end of the year is upon us, and we've decided to review a few albums. Now, we're starting with albums that may have been missed or overlooked.
Right.
Because the way things are, the game is a little different, and albums just come out.
Yeah, it's very different.
Very different. So we decided to start with one of the best albums of the year that we feel deserves your ear and deserves your time. It's the 1992 original motion picture soundtrack featuring Tyrese, Snoop Dogg, E-40, Sky Zoo, YG, The Game, Corrupt, Music Soul Child, D Smoke, and many, many more. Many more. So let's talk a little bit about the album in general. What are your thoughts?
As a producer myself, I was very happy with the production. It's very solid.
Yeah.
You know, it coincides perfectly with the lyrics. You know, it was like a perfect marriage. You know, the music is very dope. Yeah. I can say that I didn't expect to hear what I heard. I expected a desperate attempt to sound current, if you will. This album sounds nothing like what's going on.
Yeah.
It sounds like where it's from. It's a West Coast based album.
Right.
And that's exactly what you get because it sticks to the script of the movie. The movie's 1992 in South Central. That's what the movie's about. Being in South Central in 1992. Yeah. So when you're listening to this music, it puts you there.
Yeah.
So it sticks to the script. I love the production. Very tight. Instrumentation, perfect. You know, sonically, beautiful.
And lyrically, it's on point as well.
It's on point as well.
They have some incredible lyricists on this album, and they all fit the theme of the movie, which is really set during the 1992 insurrection.
During the riots.
The riots,
yeah.
Basically. So a lot of people came into a different type of consciousness during that time. It's not only about that, but they have some heavy-hitting songs on this album.
Right.
So we're not going to run through every single song, but it's just to say that thematically it all fits together almost perfectly like one cohesive project.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's well balanced because you have I call it, I don't know if they double-sided it in terms of you get a hard copy, one side is R&B, one side is rap. It's just literally like that, you know, when you listen to it. It's literally, you know, one side is R&B and one side is hip-hop. Yeah. And like I said, it's like the perfect balance, you know. Songs like State of the Culture.
State of the Culture. That is a standout track with John Doe and D Smoke. And John Doe is spelled modern.
Okay.
Modern John Doe. JXHNDX.
Yeah, he threw me for a loop with that one, but yeah.
But I know what he's trying to do.
Right, I get it.
I get it.
Right.
By the way, I should say that, you know, while it does, you know, bring back memories and give us reminders of 1992. It doesn't sound old, corny,
it doesn't sound
outdated,
old or dated,
or nothing like that.
They just stuck to the script of the theme of the movie. You know what I mean? Because a lot of soundtracks you hear, they have nothing to do with the movie.
Yeah.
You know, so
just a bunch of songs.
This is a bunch of songs. This is not what this is.
Yeah, and by the way, Tyrese should definitely be given a lot of credit. His hand is on every single song.
Listen.
His influence and impact is on almost every record, and it really gives it a dope, cohesive vibe. The music sounds organic, and it sounds almost like a home-cooked meal, basically.
Right. I mean, when I listen to the album, when I hear Tyrese go from Black Tie to Tyrese,
yeah,
it doesn't sound forced.
Right.
It's almost like he's a whole nother person. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, and he's very talented. Like, obviously, I already knew that, but I have a newfound respect for Tyrese because he's not getting the credit he deserved for being able to jump on that side of the fence. You know what I mean? A lot of people can't do that, and it sounds good. He was nice on this album, rapping.
Yeah.
And when you jump on the other side, singing. You know, so some records he's singing, then he raps, then he does the hook, then he goes back to rapping. He's a talented individual.
And when we interviewed him, he was popping off at everybody.
And you know what?
Especially the rappers.
And he backed it up.
Yeah, he backed it up.
This album backs that up.
Yeah.
See, that's another thing. A lot of people talk, but where's the product at?
Yeah, definitely. And this came out right after that interview.
So he talked the talk and walked the walk, definitely.
Now, what's your favorite song on this?
My favorite song is Pause.
Pause, okay.
Pause.
So that's Black Tie, Snoop Dogg, Dog Pound Gangster.
And E-40.
And E-40's on there too?
I think E-40's on that record. Is that the one?
E-40's on Put It in Motion.
Okay, I'm sorry. But yeah, I like pause.
Yeah.
I like pause.
Pause.
Yeah.
P-A-W-S.
And it's P-A-W-S.
But they mean pause.
They mean pause, right. Right. And see, that's what I mean. You see how you take the same meaning, but you flip it your way. You keep your identity. You know what I mean? Because right now everybody uses the same terminology. Cat. Right. Well, what's another word for cat? You know, nobody tries to.
Yeah.
You know, have their own terminology or whatever. So I like the fact that they spelled it P-A-W-S.
Corrupt shines on this one again.
Yeah, right.
And by the way, my favorite song is Dreamers.
Dreamers, okay.
Yeah, with Tyrese as Black Tide, Corrupt, and Music Soul Child.
Right.
And that's a very emotional song. It really, makes you think a lot about everything pretty much.
Right.
And also, State of the Culture.
State of the Culture.
We gotta mention State of the Culture with John Doe. Yeah, I mean, you kind of said it, but like that record is a deep record.
They're very deep record.
Yeah, they talking.
They're talking to something. They taking you somewhere. You know, they painting a picture. So when I'm there.
Yeah.
He's taking me there. Taking me into their world. Like,
for sure.
I'm there, and I'm a big R&B head. And on the R&B side of things, my favorite record is Wildflower. Wildflower is is a cover of New Birth song Wildflower, and he killed it. Tyrese, he killed it.
That was dedicated to his mother too. Yeah.
And this is what I mean, how he can jump in element after element and change his persona. He's Tyrese, he's Black Ty, and on this record he was Tyrese. And that was a beautiful cover. That's not an easy song to do. If you listen to New Birth, Wildflower, that's an incredible song to try to recreate. And he nailed it.
Yeah.
He nailed
it. We should note that Sky Zoo, one of the home team rappers, is on this album with YG and the Game. Which is such a crazy mix of he's a New York New York artist,
right?
But he's rapping with two decidedly West Coast gangster rappers,
right? I mean, I think that was a brilliant idea, brilliant collaboration, and no one was. It don't sound forced. That's what I mean. Like none of this sounds forced. Like you're saying, well, why is he on that song? It doesn't sound right. It fits perfect.
Yeah.
Everybody sticks to the script of what they're like. If you want to hear an album where someone's actually talking about something, there's concepts, there's subject matter, this is the album.
Yeah, for sure. Now, the second half of the album is mostly singing. So you have Music Soul Child, October London, J. Rel, there's Raheem Devon, Cosign, and all of these are classic R&B records.
Right.
Classic R&B. So it's not auto-tuned.
Nope.
You don't hear the computers working on the voice.
Right.
It's really organic, authentic R&B.
And one of my favorites too, Love Language.
Love Language.
That's a beautiful record, man.
Yeah.
Love Language. I encourage anybody to listen to this whole album throughout. This is one of those albums I can honestly say where you don't have to skip anything.
Right.
Like there's no fast forwarding, none of that.
And then the other thing is we're in a state where there's a lot of complaining going on. People are always complaining. People mad at everything. They pointing fingers at individuals. They're telling people they're the death of the culture, the death of R&B, the death of hip hop. But at the same time, I think it's about time that we decide to refocus our energy into the projects that are actually contributing to the health of the community.
And the growth.
Right. And then supporting those artists.
Right.
And then replicating, not necessarily exactly, but in terms of quality.
Right.
Creating that environment for others to flourish.
I agree. We should definitely do that. This is one of those albums you should get behind if you're tired of the same old ish.
Yep.
This is not what that is. This will take you somewhere, musically and spiritually. It definitely take you somewhere.
Yeah, and Beautiful Pain is Tyrese's full-blown R&B album.
Right.
Some of the songs are from that, and that's a double album.
Right. Now I want to share something before we go. When I listen to this, I'm going to admit something. I was trying to find a fault.
Yeah.
With this album, and I simply couldn't.
Really? Wow.
Because I was expecting I'm gonna hear the same old nonsense.
Right.
And I couldn't find a fault with this album. I just couldn't.
That's what's up. So if you want lyrics, if you want music, if you want originality, if you want reality, realness, This is definitely your album.
Definitely.
And lyrically, I have to say, lyrically, we have to continue to continue to reinforce that, lyric doesn't mean it's rippity rappity, hippity hoppity, you know what I mean, over the top.
Right.
Right. It's a lot of organic, well thought out bars.
Right.
And it doesn't hit you in the head too hard, but it definitely gets you thinking.
Right. Even on the engineering side, whoever engineered this, it's sonically, it's just perfect, man. Like they did a hell of a job on this album. It's clean.
Yeah.
Right. Dope.
Okay, so last thing. Out of a rating of 10 on a 10 scale, what do you give it?
I'm gonna give this a 9.5.
Yeah, all right.
I'm gonna give this a 9.5. This could possibly be a classic down the line.
Yeah.
When it's all said and done, you're gonna realize that was a classic.
I was thinking about it in the.
And I don't want to prematurely say that, but it's giving me a classic soundtrack vibe. Like it's one of those.
But when you think about the soundtracks of old, which we don't get anymore,
right?
This is really right there. With
it's up there, above the rim.
Yeah.
What else we had? I don't know, go that old, but Superfly. I don't know how.
Superfly.
Who's the man?
Okay.
You know what I mean? What else? Juice, the Juice soundtrack. Yeah. It's up there.
It's right up there.
Oh, yeah. Boys in the Hood.
Ooh.
It's up there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's up there with those. Yeah, it's up there.
Well, shout out to Tyrese. Shout out to the whole production team, all the MCs, everybody that contributed to the 1992 soundtrack. Y'all got a banger and a classic.
There it is.
Yeah.